Tonight's cover story, politics and social media. It's a double-edged sword for politicians. On one hand, they can reach out to voters directly, gain a following, and even use it to raise campaign funds. But there's a gray area on how politicians can censor their accounts. Is it a government action when a politician posts to Facebook? Do politicians need to accept online comments from those who disagree with them? These are some of the questions taken to the U.S. Supreme Court today. WBTV's Washington News Bureau reporter Brendan Cullerton is covering the cases.
From former President Donald Trump to a local school board member, social media plays a role in politics. The Supreme Court will have to decide how and if government officials can limit access to their online content. Attorneys representing public officials say the millions of government workers around the country have the right to block opponents from social media.
When acting in their personal capacity, they retain their First Amendment rights to decide who can participate in a community discussion that they host at their own property.
Tuesday's cases revolved around a small-town city manager and San Diego area school board members, but justices raised concerns that their decisions could impact more prominent accounts, like Donald Trump's Twitter during his presidency.
It was an important part of how he wielded his authority, and to cut a citizen off from that is to cut a citizen off from part of the way that government works.
Attorneys on the public information side of the argument say it's dangerous to give even local officials too much power in shaping the public discussion.
It really gives officials the ability to distort the public dialogue, to make it seem that everything they say is widely supported because they've suppressed opposing views.
Attorneys on the government side say it's important for the Supreme Court to come up with a uniform standard that makes sense for minor public officials across the country.
We don't want the court to go so far and to provide a test that is, unworkable, really difficult to understand, something where even legal experts aren't sure where the line is, let alone, sort of a lay person who also happens to be a public official.
The Supreme Court generally releases its rulings in the summer. In Washington, I'm Brendan Cullerton.